Ciao, Sue.
Ciao, Sue. Good podcast. Good podcast.
It's patreon.com/SinclairLore.
Hi, Richie.
Sponsored by Squarespace. Hi, Sin.
What's Squarespace?
Well, this podcast doesn't have a sponsor, but if we did have a sponsor, I'd want it to be Squarespace.
Why?
Let's just, Well, Sin, Squarespace is a private American company based in New York City that provides software as a service for website building and hosting. It's the all-in-one solution if you're looking to create a beautiful website. Listen to podcasts, watch the Super Bowl, you might have heard of Squarespace. It's everything you need to power your ideas.
Can it help us with these note podcasts?
I don't think it can, because we just upload them to YouTube.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah, get fucked, Squarespace. We don't need you anymore.
Oh, burn.
Nothing can help us with these podcasts because they're terrible.
Oh.
If you listen to this, it's just atrocious.
And today we're doing note number 11.
Note number 11. Yeah, of notes that they're not like numbered in game. So which one's note number 11?
Whichever comes after note number 10.
Okay. So note number 11 in Bergenworth is the spider hides all manner of rituals certain to reveal nothing, for true enlightenment need not be shared.
That's a good one, though.
It is a good one. It's one of my top 10 notes.
So, Richie,
Yes.
where is this note located exactly?
This note is on a scrap of paper near where Yuri, the last scholar, hangs out.
Mhm.
It's on the kind of circular couches near the chest that has the student set in it. And it's kind of confusing because what happens is when you enter Bergenworth, Yuri will begin moving down the stairs. So you don't usually get a sense of her like original location, but her location that she defaults to if she loses track of you is like near that note. And if you look down at the note, the confusing thing about Bergenworth is it's full of books, so the assumption is these are all books, but this note is written on a scrap of paper that is like lying on the couch, so it's not in a book. It's presumably Yuri wrote this. Or else it was left by a former choir member for Yuri.
Can you read the note in your best Ludwig voice?
But did Ludwig leave the note now?
I don't know, but maybe?
Can I read it in a beatbox Willem voice?
Yes! Keep going.
No, that was all of it.
Oh.
He's a man of few words.
And okay.
Do you have any questions about the note?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm composing myself for the questions.
Okay.
I have an outline and everything that we follow.
Good.
I told you.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. The spider. Who is the spider?
Well, who knows? Because they don't tell you. So it could be anything. Perhaps the hunter is the spider, but the answer is Rom.
Okay, so a few years ago, when I was still living with my parents, what happened is that I was, I think, lying in bed reading a book, like chillaxing in the afternoon, and you know what happened?
A spider landed on the book.
No, a spider snuck up on the pillow next to me.
Yeah.
And I freaked out, and I jumped out of bed, and I screamed, and then I grabbed what was next to me, like, because I jumped up and I ended up next to the table.
Yeah.
And on the table there was a bowl, like an empty bowl, like I ate something earlier. And so I took the bowl and I threw it at the spider, but it missed and it broke. And then my sister ran into the room being like, oh my God, what's wrong? What's wrong? What's going on? And I'm like, there's a spider on the pillow. And I'm freaking out. And she looks at me. And then she picks up the spider and leaves.
Is your sister Yuri?
She was literally like, she felt empathy for the spider. She was like, it's okay, little guy. I'll take you outside.
Well, that's my reaction as well.
So the story has a point. Do you think the spider that scared me that day is the spider from the note?
Well, it revealed nothing to you. So if the spider did possess enlightenment, we would never know. Maybe there's like a fable in there that you could have, maybe you would have attained enlightenment had you listened to the spider instead of hurling a bowl at it and screaming.
But the bowl missed, so
Perhaps you could learn to apply this to other people in your life, maybe not screaming at them, such as podcast co-hosts.
I don't scream at Nick. Okay, and my boyfriend has to be like, but you scream at Richard. Oh, okay, that was the joke, sir. Thanks for clarifying.
But it's not even like you screaming. The first thing you said to me today was, shut the fuck up.
Was it?
Yeah, because you called me, and then I said, Tessie, you just went, shut the fuck up!
I don't remember such a thing. I think I said, good morning, Richard. How are you today?
No, that was after we hit record. Before we hit record was a very different story. To the point where I asked you if maybe you wanted to just, like, go somewhere else for an hour, like, calm down, come back.
Patreon.com/Sinclair.
This is the worst one so far. We've barely talked about the note.
Oh my, what do you mean? It's only 7 minutes, and we're pretty much
Usually we start with the discussion of the note, and then it goes off track. This is already off track.
I can find at least 10 podcasts that are worse than this.
I know, but they gradually got worse. This started bad. But, like, maybe we can salvage it.
We can. Okay, let's focus. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little music.
Mm-hmm.
And then we go back to this. And then it's like, hi, Richie. Hi, Sin. Let's talk about the note. Okay, Sin.
Okay.
And so it's fine.
Okay, like the theme from A Summer Place, possibly.
Like the what?
Theme from A Summer Place.
What?
Just look it up. It'll fit.
I don't even understand.
It's good, like, calm. Theme from A Summer Place is this, like, sort of generic calm music. It's like, do 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 do. You'd probably recognize it. Okay.
Okay, well, now that you interrupted this whole process again, I'll have to put more music.
Okay.
And then we go to this. And then it's like, hey, Richie, hey, Sin, let's talk about the note. Okay, great, perfect, awesome.
Good, okay.
Okay. And, where were we? Did you see my boyfriend being a smartass in the background today? Do you see this?
I can hear it.
You can hear it, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
so we're gonna put some music. We come back here. Hey, Richie.
Yep.
Hey, Sin. How are you today? I'm good. Let's talk about the note. Okay, great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. So the spider. Who are they talking about?
They're talking about Rom.
And how do you know?
Well, Yuri is positioned quite close to the lunarium. And if you hop off the lunarium, what's this? It's a giant spider. and it is hiding the red moon. So it's like it's revealing nothing, and it's not sharing that enlightenment with us.
Interesting.
And the DLC kind of clarified what was going on by adding Damien. Because the addition of Damien of Mensis to that area, that solidifies that Yuri and the choir, they are at Bergenworth to like study Rom and learn about what happened there. They're not there to kill Rom. Whereas Damien of Mensis categorically is there to kill Rom. Because prior to that, it was just Yuri, and it wasn't really 100% clear what she was doing there. But now we know.
Okay, thank you. And another interesting thing, in the previous note that we covered in Odin Chapel, it said the spider of Bergenworth. The Bergenworth spider hides all manner of rituals. Yes. And in this note, it says the spider hides all manner of rituals. So they're probably talking about the same spider.
Yeah, because you're at Bergenworth now, so they don't need to clarify. It is the same spider.
But it's interesting because when you read it for the first time, you're like, I have no idea what it is. And then here, you still have no idea, but then you go ahead and meet the spider.
Yeah, it's a little callback.
Yeah.
This is why I thought that it was probably the choir that wrote the note in Erden Chapel. But now I think it was probably Mensis. So I don't know why they used the exact same phrasing.
Well, maybe that's Rom's nickname. Ritual Spider.
Her internal name is Idiocy Spider.
Oh my god, I know what's happening.
What?
Okay, you know how, like, calling her Idiocy Spider is mean? So they came up with a nickname, calling her, like, Ritual Spider, but they know among themselves that they're still calling her, basically, Idiocy Spider. It's like a code word to mean something else.
Well, Mikolash calls her the Vacuous Rom.
Yeah. He's a little more straightforward. Yeah.
Yeah, but she can't hear him. That's in, like, the private group chat.
Yeah, exactly.
He's worried will get leaked. So do we want to talk about how, like, the
Richie,
what?
Wait.
Okay.
Wait. Okay. So the spider hides all manner of rituals. Which rituals are they talking about?
It looks like they refer to... It's confusing because, like, the Mensis ritual is what's going on in Yahogol, right? And when they say she's hiding the ritual, and then you get, like, the secret of the ritual is broken later on, it's like, what was she hiding Yahogol? But what she's hiding is, like, the moon in the sky. Like, the red moon and what's going on in Yahogol are, like, the same process. Because that was another confusing thing when we first played it. Because there are all the references to, like, she's hiding the ritual, the secret of the ritual is obscured by the spider. Which made it sound like Rom was there to almost, like, protect Mensis, that she was stopping people from figuring out what was going on. And that if that was true, maybe Yuri was there to kill Rom, so that the secret of Mensis would be revealed. But it's the other way around. It's that what Mensis are doing, which is the ritual, which consists of what's going on in Yahogol and what's going on in the sky, and what's going on in the Nightmare of Mensis, are all considered, like, that's considered to be the same, like, the ritual covers all of that. So what Rom is doing is she's put, like, a barrier in between, like, she's like thrown a spanner in the works to stop that from happening. So that's what it means by, like, hiding the ritual. Okay.
And so the red moon is always there, we just don't see it because of Rom?
It's more like it's being summoned. And Rom is preventing them from summoning it. She's like a barrier. So when she's gone, like, the barrier finally breaks down. But that whole thing is, like, it's really not very well communicated, and I don't quite understand how it works and when it started. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And certain to reveal nothing. Explain.
When you encounter Rom, she just sits there being a spider. Like the spider that you threw the bowl at. She's just minding her own business. Hang on, that's like you, because she's minding her own business and then you're like, a spider! And then you start attacking her.
Actually, yeah.
Yes, yeah.
My life predicted Bloodborne.
You said this was like... Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was before Bloodborne came out.
Oh, okay. There we go. Yeah.
Wow.
Mm.
Maybe it was Rom's children, those things. One of them was like, I got something important to tell you. There's going to be this game. Don't attack the spider. You're going to unleash the ritual. Did we listen?
No.
It would be cool, though, if there was an ending in Bloodborne. If you just, sit in Rom's room for half an hour and do nothing, you get, a happy ending. Good job, Hunter. You understood what you had to do.
Like there'd be a time limit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, actually, in the DLC, you'd protect Rom from other hunters.
Be like Sif. Like you get Rom in the base game as a boss, but then in the DLC there's a baby Rom that you can summon to help you.
Yeah.
And then if you do the DLC before you meet Rom, Rom has an extra animation where she's like, because she recognizes you.
Yeah, that would be,
Yeah. Do you think it's unfair that everyone is sad about Sif, but no one's sad about Rom?
I think it's absolutely unfair.
Yeah.
I've always been sad about Rom after I found out her story.
Yeah.
She's literally preventing something bad from happening. She sacrificed her existence to keep the ritual at bay.
We think? We don't really know.
Okay, well, the end result is she sacrificed her mind to keep a ritual at bay, and nobody appreciates it.
Yeah, it's really we know that Rom is stopping the Red Moon, but we don't know how, and we don't know when she started.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And for true enlightenment, need not be shared. Explain.
Well, the true enlightenment is what happens to Yharnam under the pale blood sky, where suddenly you can see the amygdala on the buildings. So it's like everyone in Yharnam gets too much insight. That's why the people in Erden Chapel go mad, because it's they suddenly are faced with the reveal that reality is inhabited by these cosmic entities that they've never seen before. Mm-hmm. And it breaks their minds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Also, in the Japanese script for that note, it's enlightenment must not be shared. It's much more imperative. Absolutely do not let anyone, do not let the spider reveal the truth, because the horror will destroy us all.
Mm-hmm.
Which is what ends up happening to the choir.
Great.
Yes.
And okay, so you're saying Yuri left this note.
Well, Yuri's next to it, so either she wrote it or she was reading it, and it's from the previous person who went to Bergenworth. Okay. Because Yuri is next to a chest that's got the student set in it, and that's what Edgar is wearing in the nightmare. So it's possible that, other people came to Bergenworth to, ransack it for information and, weirdly, a disguise.
Mm-hmm.
So, maybe Yuri is near the chest because she was also going to try infiltrating Menses.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you. And for whom did they leave this note?
Well, that's why I'm saying it might have been left for Yuri. Okay. Like, just to say to her, like, hey, now that you're here, like, do not fuck with the spider. Okay. But it's also possibly, like, her research notes. Like, she's realized that we must not harm the spider, and the spider must not reveal the truth, so she's made this note to herself. Because the choir are all scholars, so this might be, like, her field research notes.
Wait, Richie, wouldn't we know if this is a note one made to oneself? Because we know the first note is a note one made to oneself.
No, that's... Well, I think we covered that at the time, but, like... The reason it says note to oneself is it's, like, a kind of odd way of saying, like, note in recognizable handwriting.
Oh,
meaning,
right.
Yeah, it's like... The implication with that note is it's like, this is a note and you have amnesia, but the handwriting looks familiar. Meaning it's your handwriting, but you just don't recognize it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's it for this note. Do you want to do the outro?
What's the outro?
Whatever your muse tells you the outro is.
That's the language of the great ones. It sounds like... Do you remember that Korn song where, like, halfway through just go... Maybe Willem is just a big Korn fan. Well, he was a Korn fan and clearly they cut it. Maybe for legal reasons they couldn't get the rights to the rest of the song. That would have been his boss. That's why we can't find cut Willem Boss music.
He's just humming it.
Yeah, he would have hummed along with Korn. Yeah, the original Willem Boss theme was Korn's Freak on a Leash. And during that part, in a little nod to, like, breaking the fourth wall, Willem would have gone along with it. You heard it here first.